Star Citizen Alpha 3.22 is now out to Wave 1 ePTU. So ePTU, pretty much the same as the PTU, it's just you select ePTU from the drop-down. There are a ton of new features in this patch and a lot of quality of life updates, but it is very early in its polish and bug fixing phase, if you see what I mean. So there's lots of bugs and problems that will occur when you're testing this and playing this. So this is going to go out to wider test groups over the next couple of weeks as we appear to be getting the live build planned to be released before the end of December. The testing focus for this patch is stability testing, the player hair update, minables balance, procedural FPS recall and weapon balance, the Arena Commander multi-crew update, and Jumptown 2.1 is going to be running throughout this weekend with a fourth new location added and a little Rastar update of the original 3. The new derelict settlements and inventory openable cargo containers are only partly working and are not suitable for testing and feedback in this patch. Hopefully they will get added later in this PTU phase. So, some new features. Structural salvage, implementing the ability to transform large chunks of metal salvaged from ships into refinable materials. Structural salvage is the next step in the salvage profession. Initially, it will bring additional functionality to the Vulture and the Reclaimer. It will allow players to convert full ships into resources, IMC, and construction components that can be sold. It will also bring an update to the way material is stored on salvaged ships. It introduces the concept of internal storage, which is a buffer in the ship that will fill. This buffer storage size will depend on the size of the salvaging ship. Once full, the virtual storage needs to be emptied using the filler station. For Reclaimer owners, the salvage mode is only operable from the co-pilot seat. The Reclaimer salvage terminal can now export size 1, 2, 8 and 16 SCU cargo containers. The salvage functionality is split into multiple sort of features and segments. You enter salvage mode with M, and then 1, you can hull scrape. Access this by pressing G. This is the current salvage system to remove the hull from ships. If it is not scraped off, the material is lost when you go and do other types of salvaging. So 2, fracture mode. You actually access this by pressing right Alt and W, not the easiest keys to get along with. This will break up intact ships or derelicts into smaller pieces. And then 3 is disintegration mode, which is right Alt and S. This mode will generate the resource from the broken down pieces. So you break the pieces off with fracturing mode, and then you hoover them up effectively with disintegration mode. To start fracturing a ship, point at the ship that you want to fracture and enter fracturing mode. Once fracture mode has been started, the ship will then break apart in a certain period of time based on the size of the ship. To disintegrate, point at a newly fragmented part of a ship and then engage the disintegration mode to break apart the chunks and collect them into the salvage buffer storage of your ship. The closer you are to a particular object, the quicker you will salvage it, disintegrate it, fracture it. Once the salvage material fills the buffer storage, have the filler station fill a commodity box and move it onto the ship's cargo. Interestingly, the Reclaimer's claw doesn't seem to act like a claw anymore. It sort of opens up like a maw, and the fracturing and disintegration comes from that. It's more of a salvage array now than a claw. There's a player hair update as well. So this updates Star Citizen character customizer with 20 new hairstyles from Squadron 42. This includes long hair, tied hair, and updates to the existing short hairstyles. There's an update to procedural weapon recall and FPS combat balance. This update has overhauled the recoil of the majority of weapons to use the new and improved procedural recall tool shown at CitizenCon. This will improve the diversity of weapon sandbox, allowing each weapon to fulfill a more specific and niche role, whilst allowing for more intense visual recoil. All the weapons will feel different. You'll have a consistent recoil pattern with particular weapons. Some weapons have huge amounts of changes here. There's been a full rework to the arc-light pistol. It's now a burst pistol with alt fire of single shot. The LH86 pistol is now fully automatic. There have been fire rate changes with the Demeco and the S71, as well as the P4AR. They fire faster. The Lumen 5 burst delay has been decreased. Force reaction updates have been made as well. Forces have been tweaked across a range of weapons to make knockdowns only occur in situations where they feel that they should occur. This should appear as an overall reduction in staggers and knockdowns. Other changes include balances to sniper rifles to avoid players in heavy armor being one-shot when hit by a sniper rifle, while still allowing this to happen to players wearing medium armor. They've adjusted loads of parameters, player health, damage modifiers, the time to kill. You should see more consistent sort of damage. They've removed movement speed penalties on limbs if their HP is low. Medical pens will now fully heal players. This is all in aid of a major pass towards a time to kill sort of update. The FPS team is eager to get feedback on this, so give it if you are playing in that 3.22 PTU or EPTU. Tractor and towing updates. They've made several UI positional updates to help increase readability. For ship scale tractor beams. They've made a ship mining balance pass. So they've made some changes to mining to help alleviate the issue of most spawned mineable rocks being more targeted towards the mole than the prospector. Some rock types now spawn as smaller, more manageable rocks. The result here is that rocks more suitable for the mole tend to be found as asteroids rather than as planetary deposits. FPS armor shop prices have increased across the board, excluding flight suits and undersuits. There are a variety of AI on-foot performance optimizations. There are some pretty big Arena Commander updates as well. The multi-crew and spawn locations update for Arena Commander. So this updates all maps to utilize a new spawn location system for spawn selection. This update enables the long-awaited introduction of multi-crew to Squadron battle, team tank battle, free fly and swarm battle modes, and expands them all to include a large variety of crewable ships. Players have the ability to enable multi-crew spawning on their selected ships and other players in the match, and on your team you will have the ability to select turret and crew positions. Gone are the days when forgetting to pick your vehicle before the game starts locked you into a fierce battle of cat and mouse. In-game vehicle selection now allows you to pick the vehicle you want while you are in-game and switch between respawns in all dogfighting modes. This includes a new slots system, allowing you to switch and customize between 4 vehicle slots. Arena Commander will also remember your selection between matches and per mode. So that's some genuinely great updates there. So yeah, there's that additional 4th location for Jumptown. Cloud Imperium potentially adding more derelict settlements or tweaking them before they want feedback on them. Those new inventory containers as well. Cloud Imperium need to sort of refine that before wanting feedback on it. There are a variety of known issues in this patch which make it less than hospitable. Arena Commander FPS modes have been disabled for the build because there's issues with invulnerable players. Enemy AI can spawn out of bounds of their intended spawn points or just not spawn. It looks like they wanted the ability to be able to repair soft-deathed ships in this patch because one of the known issues is unable to repair vehicles that have been soft-deathed. So assumedly you'll be able to tow them, drop them off in the location that Cloud Imperium wanted. I didn't actually realise that was going to be in 3.22, but it looks like that is the intention. When docking at a station, the docking arm does not extend sometimes. When retrieving a ship, it can sometimes spawn outside your hangar. When quantum travelling, the player can be left stranded and their ship will disappear. Ships are missing their name and hangar number marker when spawned. When multiple players attempt to log in at the same location, multiple people can get assigned the same bed and then get stuck in that bed. The 890 jump won't stow correctly if there is a vehicle or ship in it already. When multiple players interact with the same cargo container using a tractor beam, those players' tractor beams no longer work correctly on that container. All energy-based weapons state 0-0 in the ammo count and then can't be fired, though they seem to work if you replace them with a different energy weapon. Players cannot exit ships by using the exit seat option in the personal inner thought menu. So absolutely awesome to see Alpha 3.22 already in first wave PTU at the start of December, and hopefully they'll plow through that to get to a live build. Obviously, there's a lot of work that needs to be done in the PTU phase, and it will go out to more and more waves over the next couple of weeks. You should see like the Santok Yai and the X1 series turn up a little bit later in the PTU cycle as well. I'm personally having some internet problems at the moment, but hopefully I'll be able to play a reasonable amount of 3.22 and Siege of Orison over the weekend. In the meantime, tell me what your experiences are of Alpha 3.22. Are you waiting for it to go to a wider or open PTU or even live before you play? Have you been playing in the first wave EPTU and are you having a great time, an awful time? Is it super buggy? Is it amazing? Whatever your thoughts or questions, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below, especially stuff on Salvage and Multi-Crew Arena Commander. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the verse.
Ho ho ho, it's me, Father Nordmus. That's right, it's that time again to see who's on my naughty list for who doesn't have a VPN.
No! no! Das Northern-Claws!
Gross from Northern Claws, Timmy. You should be scared of not having a VPN. As you know, Father Nordmus punishes all that disobey him. It's the perfect Nordmus present, Timmy. There's no excuse. I can see all of your website history, and I'm going to sell all of your data, Tim.
NordVPN helps protect your online activity, gives you greater accessibility to the content you want by changing your location, and much, much more. Go to nordvpn.com/BoredGamer before Das Northern-Claws finds you. Every month we have a Star Citizenship giveaway. For December, we are giving away a Drake Corsair. It's the winner of the 2953 Ship Showdown and one of the stars of the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. This fantastic multi-role, multi-crew, long-range mission runner can do a bit of everything in-game, and it has a penchant for exploration. Just comment on any of my videos during December to be in for a chance of winning that. There are further details in the description below. A big thank you to everyone that goes the extra mile in supporting the channel via Patreon or the join button under my videos and becoming a channel member. It will net you some exclusive content from Zin and I, but also it really does help us to be able to create daily Star Citizen content, as does sharing these videos and commenting. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the verse.